Thank you everyone for your patience. May I request our esteemed panelists for today to please come on the dais. Dr. Shishir Kshatriya. Dr. Shishir brings a deep experience in policy research and digital transformation pathway for oceans. Dr. Deepak Subramani. Mr. Ode R. Sensen. Mr. Kartikeya Anand. Ms. Deblina Bhattacharjee, Mr. Jay Shankaran Hari, Dr. Abhay Shukla, someone can come here. Maybe someone can come here. And to follow a beautiful tradition, we'll like to start with a group photograph. So I also request today's chief guest on board, Dr. Mahapatra and Ms. May Elaine. I would request you to please on board. I'd also like to request 1 minute. I'd also like to request Shiv Kumar, partner EY, and Commander Dr. Prashant Srivastava to be on dais for the photograph. Thank you, everyone. Request everyone to please take their seats. So, starting officially, good morning, all the guests here, distinguished dignitaries, respected panelists, our chief guest, colleagues from government, academia, industry, and international institutions. I'm Priya Taide. I work with EY, Ernst & Young. Ernst & Young is immensely proud to be currently associated with Ministry of Earth Sciences as a strategic knowledge partner to enhance and develop the blue economy sector of India. We firmly believe that shaping a vibrant blue economy is critical for India to achieve its ambitious economic targets. Our collaborative work with ministry has multifaceted, covering the vast horizon of blue economy, and we have identified multiple areas of focus and the pillars that could work as a strategic intervention for the country. That is what we are going to deliberate in today's panel session. India's blue economy requires deep scientific understanding, real-time data intelligence, predictive modeling, and strong governance framework. Over the years, MOES has built a very strong national capacities in ocean observation, climate and cyclonic forecast, marine data systems, coastal advisory services. Artificial intelligence presents that opportunity to amplify these systems, enabling faster analysis, smarter predictions, better decision-making across the sectors. Today's discussion will explore how AI can transform ocean science into actionable intelligence and sustainable economic value via these sectors. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you all on this deliberation. Without further ado, to set the context from the National Climate and Forecasting perspective, I request Dr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra, Director General of Indian Meteorological Department, to deliver the keynote address for the day.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, namaskar to all of you. At the outset, on my personal behalf and behalf of Ministry of Earth Sciences, I extend a warm welcome and hearty greetings to all of you. Distinguished panelists and moderator, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. As all of us know, that ocean plays a dominant role in our daily life. Many countries are associated with the oceans, and considering India, it has got about 11,000 kilometers associated with ocean. Therefore, the economy of these countries which are directly associated with the oceans are heavily dependent upon the economy in the oceans or the blue economy. Apart from that, the landlocked countries are also dependent upon the blue economy. So, therefore, it becomes very much essential to understand the oceans, to predict the oceans, to manage the oceans, and ensure a sustainable ocean. Out of human greed, we should not go to such an extent where we spoil the ocean and we endanger ourselves. So therefore, globally, there is a clarion call for the blue economy, and blue economy aims at a sustainable and equitable development of the oceans and utilization of the resources in the ocean in a sustainable and equitable manner. While doing so, it aims at in improving the growth of any individual and the countries or the nations, and also it ensures the improved livelihood of the people. It also ensures a sustainable economy. While doing all this, we have to ensure that ocean also is sustainable. So in this context, there has been many such legal framework, there has been many such initiatives internationally, and at national level, India has also taken off a huge jump with respect to all these initiatives. One of the most important initiatives taken off by the Government of India is the Deep Ocean Mission, which is being led by Ministry of Earth Sciences. If you look at the objective of the Deep Ocean Mission, the first and foremost objective is to explore the oceans, to understand the oceans. And there are certain important projects. One of them is the Samudrayan or the Matsya, which aims to send the persons up to a depth of 6,000 meters so as to understand the various ocean sciences and the environment. The second one is the polymetallic compounds from the Central Indian Ocean. The third one is the energy resources. There are many such green energies which can be harvested from the Indian Ocean or any part of the global oceans. At the same time, there is biodiversity that also we have to ensure, and we have to understand and address the impact of the climate change. And all of us know that oceans are the friends to the population in terms of managing the climate change, because the ocean is sink to the carbon dioxide, the main greenhouse gas. But at the same time, if you go on taking the advantage that all carbon dioxide will be absorbed by the ocean, so that we need not worry, it is really certain worry, because it leads to the acidity of the water, and water has become acidic, and hence it threatens the aquatic lives. And by that way, it also threatens us, the human being, who are dependent upon the aquatic lives, especially the fishes. There has been overfishing in certain areas. There has been adverse environment for these fishing. So therefore, there is also need to understand the impact on the aquatic lives, etc. In view of the climate change, all of us know it is not simply the ocean becoming acidic, but also the ocean temperature is rising, and it has the ocean heat content is more compared to the land surface. Therefore, it has got long-term impact on not only the climate, also day-to-day weather and the extreme weather events. The sea level rise especially is also threatening the coastal resources. Therefore, another important objective of the blue economy and the Deep Ocean Mission is to ensure an ocean resilience and also the coastal risk resilience. I just want to mention here, our ocean is affected by the tropical cyclones and the monsoons. These are two important phenomena which affects all all spheres, you can say the hydrosphere, the earth and the ocean, all aspects are affected by that. So therefore, the Ministry of Earth Sciences and the science and technology community try their best to develop the various tools and technology to observe, to predict, and to provide the early warning services. It is heartening to mention that the deaths due to cyclones has been almost zero in the past 2 cyclones. And there has been significant reduction in loss of lives due to the cyclones or the monsoon depressions or the oceanic hazards. It is being provided by the Ministry of Earth Sciences through its organizations like India Meteorological Department and Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services for all types of oceanic hazards and oceanic weather and climate. It helps the common man like the fishermen. It helps the industries like onshore offshore industries, ports, etc. With these achievements, also there are certain challenges because of this growing impact of the climate change and growing demand of the society to harness more and more energy and more resources. So therefore, we go on improving our capability by improving the observational systems, both in situ by deploying the buoys, by deploying the various ships, etc., and also by deploying the coastal observations and island observations. At the same time, we utilize the radars and also the satellites. Both geostationary satellites and forward-looking satellites are utilized to take observations continuously to understand even not only the weather parameters, but also, for example, ocean color, and hence the behavior of the aquatic life and the water. At the same time, we go for modeling system. We not only model the atmosphere, but also the ocean, and also the coupled ocean and atmosphere. In that sense, we have got the global models, we have got the regional models, location-specific models to provide all types of services. With this improvement, also the services enhanced in the region, and this enhanced services has enabled to improve our economy. But if we look at for the future, yes, we have to go further to provide in a sustainable manner the various types of information which is realistic, which is easily accessible, which is available in time, and which is triggering for actions by the individuals and organizations, so that real sustainable blue economy can be ensured here and also in the globe. So towards this direction, the need has come that we should move towards the data-driven models. We have got a lot of data now. Earlier, gone are those days when we did not have any data in the oceans, but now we have got the data in the oceans through various types of remotely sensed instruments and also the direct instruments. And Ministry of Earth Sciences has archived the data set in a usable format. So there is a scope there that we can go for data-driven model like artificial intelligence and machine learning to develop the new models and to complement the physical models available with Ministry of Earth Sciences or India Meteorological Department or various organizations of the science. At the same time, to develop and augment further data and to utilize this data in data-driven models like AI, you need some kind of data governance. The country has come up with data policy, open data policy, which can help in this data-driven modeling system. Also, we have come up with the public-private partnership. There is a scope here for public-private engagement to improve the ocean understanding and provide the predictions, and hence also the services to improve our blue economy. So with respect to data, I want to say that data are freely accessible. I urge upon the various industries, academia, R&D institutes to cooperate, to participate, to collaborate with Ministry of Earth Sciences so that we can jointly work together. We can also help the startup groups. We can also help the existing industries to go on improving the economy by development of various mechanisms to harness the ocean energy, to utilize the ocean resources, to combat with the climate change impacts, and hence have a sustainable development. I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. I hope this deliberation will help each of us to move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It feels very encouraging to hear the technological advancement that the country is doing. Moving forward, I would like to call upon now Her Excellency May Ellen Stenner, the Norwegian Ambassador to India, to throw light on global context and how significantly AI is impacting the blue economy world over. Ms. Stenner is currently Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Maldives, along with India. Ms. Stenner, please.
Good morning, everyone, colleagues, friends from the Ministry of Earth Sciences, everyone in the room. It's really great to be here for this important discussion at the AI Impact Summit The oceans is a priority in the collaboration between Norway and India. The blue economy and digital public goods and infrastructures are important pillars. As a maritime nation with one of the world's longest coastlines, Norway has always been dependent on making use of the newest technology to harness the power and resources of our oceans. These technologies are constantly evolving and are improving fisheries management, shipping practices, ocean research, and offshore industries. In the age of AI, these technological improvements are accelerating even further, and we must ensure it is to the benefit of our economies and our planet. The Ministry of Earth Sciences has already demonstrated remarkable leadership in building national ocean observation and modeling capabilities here in India. From satellites and radar systems to buoys and research vessels. These, as they will become enhanced by AI going forward, will be able to forecast weather even better, predict dangers at sea, and therefore more opportunities. Today, AI offers the possibility of transforming this vast flow of data into improving cyclone forecasting, as has just been mentioned, strengthening fisheries management, and enhancing coastal resilience. For that reason, I am proud that Norway and India are partners in harnessing better data for a better ocean, which is at the core of our ocean dialogue. Norway believes that AI becomes most powerful when it is built on open, interoperable, and trusted digital foundations to make it all-inclusive. As a co-founder of the Digital Public Goods Alliance, we promote open source solutions, open standards, and responsible digital governance globally. This is why we see digital public goods and infrastructures built on open data, open standards, and shared platforms as critical enablers also of the blue economy. In this field, India has already demonstrated a true global leadership in building digital public infrastructure for a big population. This is now being shared with countries around the world. Therefore, India is well positioned to also take leadership in building a robust digital public infrastructure for the oceans, which the world would benefit greatly from. Norway sees significant opportunity for collaboration to this end, particularly in integrating AI with ocean observation systems, developing shared standards for marine data exchange, and advancing sustainable blue finance. Also with the maritime sector, AI can further amplify the systems we have built. For example, predictive analytics can optimize vessel traffic management. Using AI in the digital transformation of ports and shipping, for example, data sharing systems can streamline port calls, reduce waiting times, and lower emissions. By standardizing data exchange across maritime sectors, Norway has experienced how digital infrastructure can at the same time improve competitiveness and reduce environmental impact. An approach directly relevant to India's growing port and shipping sector. Across this sector, Norway stands ready to deepen cooperation with India to advance responsible AI integration in ocean governance. In fact, the oceans is a particularly good case for applying a digital public infrastructure approach enhanced by AI as we move forward. The simple reason for that is that all ocean data becomes better when shared because the ocean itself is already shared. I really look forward to hearing the speakers in this session and to hear more about how we can take this collaboration forward. And I will also say, with the slogan of the AI Summit, Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukai, Se Me Sema Tu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Her Excellency. India has been always appreciative of our long-standing collaboration with Norway, and I can see that's going a long way ahead. Now, moving to the most awaited segment of the session, I request my partner of EY, Shiv Kumar Murthy, to please take on the moderation of this panel.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure and honor to be moderating this session with such an august and accomplished set of panel members over here. It's often said that we know more about the Mars and the Moon than we know about the oceans themselves. It could be anecdotal, but it's true. The vastness of the ocean also means that we need a large set of people coming from various backgrounds to explain the nuances of what ocean is, how AI can help, and like Her Excellency has rightfully mentioned, is there a scope for digital public goods to make it open so that all nations can benefit? In this August panel, we have people from the government, research, industry, startup, and most importantly, the one that makes the world go round, finance. So I'm going to start asking the question to perhaps Dr. Shishir. So you are from RIS, and I think one of the questions that is there is, if we are, India and of course like Norway and other countries are coming together, so is there a scope for the global south to come together? Can India take the lead in trying to establish what could be as known as the Oceans Common?
Yeah, thank you for your question. A very important question, leading question. Ambassador Madam just mentioned that we have created a wonderful digital public infrastructure, and at this forum we must also understand that how we have developed our ocean services through organizations like INCOIS and India Meteorological Department, and we have of course all these models, and we also have the data sets. So perhaps something like digital ocean infrastructure is in the offing from India, and that would require, of course, various layers. The first layer is the data layer, where we'll have all the data from the satellites, the OceanSat and the RESAT, but more importantly now NISAR. So I want to throw up a question, and I must tell the audience, the younger generation in the audience, that we should be NISAR ready. We are not yet NISAR ready. It will throw up so much of data, and we have to integrate that. Of course, the other data which is through the Argo buoys and the vessels, etc. Besides that, building an intelligence layer on that, we also have part of the stack already available, and we are using this stack for various services already. The potential fishing zone, and to also earmark or find out the IUU, and also for early warning. Dr. Mahapatra just mentioned that our early warning systems have been so good that the incidents during the tsunami and the other climatic disasters have been much minimal. So we already have that stack available, but also for pollution, and more importantly, taking a clue from countries like Norway, for MSP, Marine Spatial Planning. This is another very important aspect for all you youngsters present here. You have to develop the stack for Marine Spatial Planning, which is not only spatial planning, but it is also temporal planning, which is used for operations. So it is the amalgamation of the data from the remote sensing satellites, and building a stack over it for this temporal and spatial planning. Of course, taking it forward for ocean governance is very important, and we have that stack also in some form available. It could be further developed for genetic registry and carbon credit certification and mapping and monitoring. And then, of course, the most important aspect which we have is, of course, the capacities to train people of the Global South. The Global South is looking towards us for training, and then provide services, as the ambassador mentioned, in the open data format. A lot of APIs and the other open data could be provided for the younger generation and the startups and multiple users to use it across the various sectors of the blue economy. Currently, our blue economy size is only contributing 4% to our GDP. We have the potential to contribute to 10 to 12% if we start using this stack for ourselves. You know, that's the advantage. But besides that, for the Global South, all this stack is very, very useful, and they are looking towards us for not only capacity building, but also for technology transfer and technology support and many other. We also provide a lot of trust for the data sovereignty. You're aware about it. So India is a very trusted partner in terms of that. So I think the future is bright, and the Global South could look at.
Thank you so much, sir. And in fact, if you want to take the GDP from 4 to 12%, as sir has mentioned, we cannot do that without community. So the next question is going to be Devalina, because she works with the community. She helps seaweed farmers really increase their livelihood. So the question to you is, I think that's all non-tech. Now we are in an AI summit. How can AI really help the seaweed farmers?
All right, thank you for the question. But first of all, lovely to be here. Lovely to be part of this esteemed panel and talking to this, all the audience here. I'm just for a context at Climacrew. I'm the CEO of Climacrew. At Climacrew, we convert seaweed mass, biomass, essentially grown in the sea completely, into multiple different industrial outputs that goes into an agri industry, a food industry, a feed industry, and as mentioned, that we work with communities there. Again, if you can sense that the amount of data that we have to process, it's marine data, it's biologicals, and also industrial output. So data itself is very complex. My entire data integration loop that has been developed for the last 3.5 years, and I've been in the marine sector for 7 years, is very complex. Making sense of it is not operationally possible without an AI engine backing it. I'm a data scientist by training, so even though I work in marine with ecosystem, can kind of come from that lens. So AI was never a really fancy project for us, or was not a kind of a cool thing for us to do. It was essentially required us to run operations on day to day. Why? Because the first thing that is very important for us to really analyze is where to grow seaweed. I mean, for any land-based cultivation, you can imagine soil is very important, right? In sea as well, the water quality is very, very important. I need to measure multiple different parameters like salinity, sea surface temperatures, turbidity, pH. Any different changes on any going below above threshold can cost me my goods. So location site analysis is very important. So all my the AI models at my GIS team, when the data team runs on analyzing marine parameters, weather data, combining that with the biological heuristics, decides that. Second bit important is, while the crop is growing, important to understand if it is growing properly. I mean, early warnings on climate stresses, environmental anomalies is something that's important for my field team to know and take advanced or known decisions on ground proactively. Third importance is critical, because we do industrial output. We are not just at the cultivation end. We go up the supply chain and provide it to B2B industries. It's very important for us to plan the supply chain, to understand which stage of the crop which stage a crop in certain location is, and to be able to say that, okay, from here I'll make a carrageenan, from here I'll make a biostimulant, from here I'll make a bioplastics. All of the supply chain planning cannot wait till harvest happens. I'll be very late in the supply chain. So all these things we have developed over time. Sadly, we don't have ocean data stack, so we had to develop everything on our own, but we are getting there. So just as a summary, I mean, AI does not help me scale the cultivation, but helps me take the faster decisions, reduce my operation cost, and also kind of predictively scale the overall outcome of my business.
Thank you so much. And as we keep hearing about the ocean data stack, I think time has come, so we will really come together to see that it happens. All the youngsters in the room, I would really request, this is an unexplored territory, so please do listen to what the experts have to say. We would also like to keep some time for you to ask questions at the end. But since we have seen that so much of data is there and different types of data is there in the oceans, I'm going to ask Dr. Deepak on is AI and the models that we know of, and I think we've got the popular form of LLMs and the image creators, but seriously, are we ready for the volume and the variety of data from a data science AI models perspective? Are we ready? What needs to be done?
Thanks for having me on the panel, and this is a very important question to answer. So we are hearing about the data stack, and the Ministry of Earth Sciences has done a tremendous job in setting up the ocean observation systems, terrestrial observation systems. The investment has been immense, and the data that comes in is of very high quality. Now, even at that scale, it is still only very small compared to the data that is available at the internet scale for the socio-technical systems that we deal with. So the technology platforms are already in place to deal with the data that is going to come out of the remote sensing and the in-situ measurements. So really the question now is the AI that we need to develop is in fact a different type of AI that is necessary, because all the other AI, the LLMs that you mentioned, are all data-driven models, right? So they come from internet-scale data that have been trained for predicting the next word, for example, and giving a sequence of output that is what the human wants to know. So with Incois, in fact, we are doing a project of developing an ocean AI system, which will look completely different. The reason is, even though there is a lot of data, it is not enough to train these large models. So we need to rely on physics. We need to rely on newer methodological frameworks like neural operators that will enable us to incorporate physics into the AI systems and help us deal with the limited data that is available. So still, with the increase in data, we are still in a data scarce environment, right? So that's what I want to try to emphasize over here. To be able to have an AI system that will lead to further gains downstream, like how seaweed farming, for example, or fisheries. Potential fishing zone advisory was mentioned here. But really now the question is, can we predict sub-seasonal to seasonal scale? Right? So maybe we can do 1 day, 2 day ahead. Right? Can we say what happens next week? So that comes at the edge of predictability limit of dynamical systems and what with data we can do better. And ocean is vast, and you were saying that we know a little bit more about the moon than the under bathymetry of the ocean. Yeah, so it's because it's a vast system. And I think there are some AI native solutions that need to come. So as we are telling our youngsters over here, I think physical intelligence is the next frontier. So LLMs are maybe the last 5 years. The next 5 years is going to be physical intelligence. And what better than the deep ocean mission, which Dr. Mrutyunjay also mentioned, right? So the deep ocean mission requires, now we are thinking of sending a man under, right? So it is not necessary to send a man there now. If we think in the future, 10, 15 years ahead, can't we send humanoids there? Can we put sensors that enable us to scan the under of the ocean and get us the data that is necessary using physical intelligence systems? So hardware, I think, is there, but maybe at high pressure we have to now make those hardware work. But the intelligence stack that needs to be built on top has to be built today in an AI native fashion for the intelligent ocean platform that we are going to build. Right? So the ocean stack must have the data and the intelligence layer. And what we could do and build from India is that intelligence layer for that physical intelligence combined with the ocean.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I'm going to move to now perhaps a research and industry mix. So, Odare from Sintef, you do research, you do projects. You also have a lot of open source. Now, you've been hearing a lot about the ocean stack. Can the data be available? Can the models be made available? So what's your take on the open source solutions that exist? Can that be really adopted by different countries? What should be done to make these now literally as synonymous like the Googles of the world?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to this panel. And I really appreciate the talks given here. And I really agree that we know too little about the ocean. Even if we have a lot of data, we still have scarce data to actually take the necessary decisions. So I think the only way to do this is cooperation. This is all about cooperation. The ocean is flowing without borders, so we really need to be able to cooperate in this. We really need to be able to develop new AI methods. And I totally agree on the hybrid AI way of doing it. But it's already quite a lot of international cooperations in the ocean space. And as SINTEF, the Norwegian research organization I'm working for, we have worked with India quite a lot. We are now working in initiatives in the EU and initiatives in the UN. I think enforcing these initiatives is really the way forward. We need to be able to gather this. It's a sort of easy concept, but that's easy to sort of investigate that you're actually sharing all this data. But in practical, it's quite hard. So we are ended up now internationally with a set of digital twins and a set of open initiatives, which is sort of contrary to the basic idea of one open digital twin. So using AI, we're working with that just now, using AI to actually make sort of a digital twin of digital twins.
Okay.
But to be able to do that, we need, and in this forum, we need to agree that we are working together with India and Norway and taking, I guess you're already invited into the UN initiative called DITO, but having you in the EU initiatives as well would be perfect, without having said more about
yes,
that.
Oh yes, after the new FTA, I don't know if I'm already part of the EU now.
But there are a lot of initiatives. So bottom line, we need to cooperate. Yes, we are sharing the data, we are sharing the models. We are working in a sort of the intersection between open, public models and commercial, and we have to be able to do that, but cooperation is still the way forward.
Thank you so much. So, Jai Krishna, I'm going to ask you now. So you are doing research and in an industry, and you're now seeing the kind of data and the algorithms that are required for that. And you also specialize in quantum. Now, my question to you is, A, is the oceans ready for AI and quantum intersection?
Yeah, thank you, Shiva, and thanks to the ministry for inviting us. So, I would say, put it this way, right? The answer is yes.
Okay.
The reason being, okay, the journey that IBM research started with NASA 3 years ago to map kind of 3 fundamental layers of the Earth. One is understanding the Earth itself. So that in that process came out the Prithvi foundation models. It's the most kind of advanced geospatial foundation model for understanding the Earth. Then we kind of moved to ocean. As Dr. Mahapatra was saying, right? Oceans kind of carry like 30% of CO2. Yeah. They're like the biggest storage. So work with Plymouth Marine Laboratory and SFTC in UK. So there is a new model which came out for understanding ocean. So can you predict, for example, estimate the phytoplanktons, right?
Planktons, yeah.
Because they are like the green thing that floats on the water and kind of feeds the complete marine ecosystem. So, and you can do a lot of use cases on top. If you understand that based on the geospatial data coming from Sentinel, like Copernicus, Sentinel systems, you can actually build use cases to identify potential fishing zone, identify harmful algae, so all those things. And then moving to sun, so there is also work happening in sun. So there is, right now we have the capability to understand different parts of the Earth, including ocean. And I think the use cases around identifying harmful algae, identifying potential fishing zones, or even, if you look at Indian economy, blue economy, as somebody was mentioning, like 4% of the GDP. But we contribute 95% of the trade, marine ecosystem contributes to the exports, right? 95% goes by the marine ecosystem. So there is a lot of optimization scenarios also possible. So quantum can come in as well as an enabler for this journey. Things like, for example, if you want to do, let's say, forecasting, weather forecasting models run 6 to 7 hours in classical systems now. Yeah. But quantum, it kind of simulates nature. So you can actually do better simulation, better understanding of molecular kind of interactions. So that can unlock whole frontier kind of innovation in that space. So I believe, yes, we are ready, and things are already happening with respect to foundation models for geospatial, for earth, for ocean, and I'm hoping that the ecosystem here will be able to capitalize that and build on top of that as well.
Thank you so much. Abhay, to you now. We have seen the industry, we have seen academia, we've seen a touch of government, startups. This is what fuels everything, right? And the entrepreneurial spirit, I hope, also spreads to the youngsters over here. But to you, the question is, A, does the ocean really have so much of potential for entrepreneurship? And if so, apart from the normal solutions, what does deep tech offer from the oceans?
So the first question, Shiva, does the ocean has a lot for the startups or the entrepreneurs? My answer is, it depends how we mold it, right? Okay. It is always there, right? It's about, the resources are always there. Whether you are able to mine or how to mine or not, that is the key consideration that should go into an entrepreneur's mind, right? Her Excellency talked about the vessel traffic management and all that, right? And they also contribute to the pollution of the ocean as well. So if a vessel is staying in my port limit or country limit for 2 hours or 3 hours extra, it is also contributing to the pollution. Now imagine how many vessels you are receiving and are leaving your port every day. So if I cut down on their turnaround time by 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours, certainly, and taking that leap, that as AI transmute, the first solution we developed was in that direction, where we started saving the wastage of the time in the vessel berthing, how AI can drive the vessel berthing, intelligent berthing, how tugs and pilot can be seamlessly coordinated so that nobody is waiting. And we were able to prove that we are able to save 2.5 hours to the Ministry of Ports. And some major ports have adopted it, and they are in the process, right? But going towards the blue economy, the larger question in my mind is, can AI do it? Answer is, AI can do anything as long as it is enabled, right? But are we enabled today? My answer is, we have started on that path from the ocean perspective, right? There is a Sahav portal which has come up, right? A great start. I will say, that's a very great start by the ministry to bring that data live and accessible for us. However, my question to the government or to everybody in this room is, from digital library of data, how do I move towards the data liquidity? Imagine a scenario where UPI, what UPI did for finance. Can we do that in the ocean, right? Can I come up, can I bring UPI of ocean? And by that what I mean, if as an AI startup, and Debolina touched upon it, there are a lot of time goes, more than 80% time goes in just data preparation, right? And that's what she was hinting towards. And so instead of doing AI, all we are doing is we are consolidating and spending time on consolidating data from invoice, from NIoT, from other sources, which is available. Great start, but we still spend a lot of time. So what if we can be provided an API where I can integrate directly onto that? How do I make data interoperability? And that I'll cite India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor under development, MAT3. How when countries can make their data interoperable through that initiative, and we are leveraging AI for that. We are doing that, right? Can we not take the cues from that and make data interoperable across weather, satellite, right? The marine traffic, the ports, and everything. And then we can talk about thinking where AI can really disrupt from predictive to moving towards the impact-driven modeling. Rather than just saying that this is what is going to happen, what if I can tell you, like, that the storm is coming, going to hit this shore expectedly, but 3 days in advance or 2 days in advance, I say that, and many times you have seen that the storm changed the direction at the last minute, right? And guess what? Nobody was ready, because it, instead of expected port A, it hit the unexpected port B or the another shore, and we were not ready for it. And that is exactly where I see that AI can mark its dent in a very great way, right? So how do we make a paradigm shift from predictive to the impact-driven modeling is something which I will say, like, and again, like, that there are a lot of use cases, we can keep talking about it, but in the end, like, that the enablement is what is needed, and then the mind shift from where we are not only just funding the research and the overall that we know this or that, rather think about the impact that we want to drive when we say that blue economy, Dr. Shishir touched upon 4% to 12%, right? How do we make that impact-driven modeling, and what exactly I need to take? And AI can certainly help you to simulate. Just like Dr. Strange, I will always give that example in my mind, right? That you can simulate. So that is how I will say that to both of your questions, like, that answer.
No,
yes.
thank you so much. Thank you. So the last, Kartikeya, anything that has to do with enablement, the entire ecosystem that has to come together. Abhay also mentioned about UPI, but that was only as an example. But that brings us to the most important topic. How do we fund such large programs and initiatives? With your success that you have done in AP and what you're doing in Maharashtra as well now, you've been working on the green finance. What does it mean to embark on blue finance, and how to make it successful?
Thank you, Mrs. Shiv. And Andarki Namaskaram. I would like to thank Ministry for inviting me for this prestigious event. Thank you so much. So we are actually thinking about AI. 22 decades back, people used to talk about IT and all. When now from 2020, we are talking about renewable energy, tourism, and all these emerging sectors. But people, somehow they started talking about blue economy. I think now onwards, people will talk about blue economy in future also. The reason is 71% is occupied by the water, oceans and all. And we are focusing on this 29% of land where we are working on it. But there are a lot of opportunities and also a lot of investment and a lot of creation of wealth, and also encouraging in terms of blue economy. People are scared about AI will take out the jobs. But blue economy is going to create jobs with support of AI for especially India will be the great market in terms of the generation blue economy. Coming to the Andhra, where I worked in 2019 to 24, longest coastal corridor, which is 1,052 kilometers. We have 6 seaports, which is inaugurated by the previous government, 19 to 24, focusing into blue economy. And especially Andhra is #1 in terms of renewable energy sources, like worked in especially blue economy, offshore renewables. See offshore renewables in the worldwide, 85 gigawatt is more focused by the maximum by the China and Japan and UK. But now Andhra and other states are contributing more into renewable energy. When it comes to India, if you want to strengthen the blue economy, the southern states, Gujarat and Maharashtra, we need to set up a blue economy zone where we can start focusing more the way in 90s, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and UP, Delhi, especially NCR, we focused more into IT side. Now we start focusing blue economy. I think most of the IT people also will start working with the AI support in the blue economy, where they are not going to lose their jobs and going to start up their new careers. And I also supporting India. And coming to the financing side, government has to give assurance to the industries. There are people are ready with investments, but how government is going to support them? Government is handholding them, creating that environment, policy level. It is not that giving incentives, but taking the risk. It's not that a company will, organizations will come and invest, and the risk is taken care by the investor itself. The government has to take the risk also with the support them and reduce the risk where investor can freely come and invest in the state or nation side in terms of strengthening the blue economy, in terms of offshore renewables. And there are other areas where PSPs, PSPs also we can use the sea water. These are the areas if they give risk analyses and also giving that assurance with offtake agreements. And also blended financing model, PPP models, government, if the government supports, investors are ready, especially most of the European countries and also UK and the US, their companies are collaborating with Indian market and exploring investment opportunities, especially in Andhra and also other states where we have a renewable energy. The stretch of coastal line is there. So blended financing models and incentivizing that support to the company and handholding them. It's not that once they come invest in the state and the government will lead them, it's there itself. So completely the setting up the execution of the projects. See, people will have visionary. Vision can be successful when you have a clear execution with the policies. That kind of policy support when bringing that international banks to the collaboration with the government, give the support to the investors, then we will see the desired results in terms of investment point of view and also creating an employment opportunities. That we should not forget about it. So I can say that blue economy is a sustainable model for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have already seen the bell ring. I don't want to be the only one asking questions, so we'll take 2 questions from the audience to our panelists. So the mics can be given them. You can stand up and speak. And can I request the gentleman in the back to close the door, please? That really helps. Yeah.
Firstly, I would really like to thank the panel here for sharing all of the innovations and the progress you are doing in this sector. I would want to ask from my perspective as an individual who works in the field of data and AI. My husband, who is coming from the merchant navy background, who is familiar with the ocean and we discuss a lot of things in regards to how the use cases which you were discussing in terms of how we can contribute to this impact and as the projects which you're working on. So just we want to do an impact in that case and help in terms of some of the use cases you are doing. So how can we reach out, or what are the opportunities for us?
If you want to invest, you approach the government. They will support. If you want to research side, you want support. There are people here. So you should have a clear that what exactly you want. Investment point of view, the government, most welcome.
She's asking what use cases. So I must tell you, ULIP. There is a platform which has been made for people like you to give you data. It is United Logistic Interface Platform, and that's been generated through the PM Gati Shakti project. So under that project, the multimodal connectivity, the roadways, the railways, and the shipping network, including the inland as well as the coastal shipping network. You would have heard the finance minister stressing on the point of the multimodal connectivity for using the national waterways. We have 20,000 plus kilometers of national waterways, 111 notified, and we hardly use. Many of the advanced nations, you are aware that inland waterways are the key routes for pathways for both the cargo as well as the passenger this thing. So that's number one, ULIP, as I mentioned. But other than that, as Abhay was mentioning, that efficiency-wise also, there are lots of use cases wherein efficiency in terms of roadways, in the railways, not only that, but coastal shipping and the inland waterways, how to integrate. There again, the productivity and efficiency aspects are very important, where again, many use cases will come up.
Thank you so much, sir.
Going further down, berth allocation, predictive maintenance, many other things are there. And more importantly, you must understand that we have 200 plus non-major ports which are not developed. And as I mentioned in my initial remarks, marine spatial planning is a very important tool for developing these. So there all the use cases are there. More I'll tell you later on.
I think you should catch that after the discussion. We are really run out of time, so I'm sorry. Please catch the panelists after this. Otherwise, we will be, really kicked out of this room. But thank you so much, the esteemed panelists over here, sharing your thoughts. Very nascent field. As I said, this could be the last frontier that we really want to conquer. But with the ideas over here, thank you so much. To conclude, I would request Commander Srivastav, sir, to come and give his remarks from the ministry and your thoughts, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shiva. Distinguished speakers, respected colleagues, members at the panelist, academia, all the audience, and everyone participating in this AI summit. At the outset, on behalf of the Ministry of Earth Sciences, I extend my sincere appreciation to all of you for this very rich and insightful discussions on AI for oceans for tomorrow. We've heard from the keynote speakers as well as from the panelists here that the oceans is the last frontier, or we know more about the oceans, less about the oceans and more about the surface of the moon. And there are many areas which still need to be tackled. Ministry of Earth Sciences has been investing through its institutions in the missions also, and through INCOAS and NIOT and others, to build national assets, and data is available, but how we can do data interoperability, or how do we cooperate with different nations in this, how do we build capacities for nations from the global south, are all challenges which are in the future. And very rightly pointed out, I feel, by one of the panelists, that the future jobs are not likely to be from the land-based sources, but from the 71% of the ocean resources where we want to move forward. Having said that, I would also like to point out this session to be one of the most unique sessions, because if you go around the AI summit, you will find most of the sessions are primarily dealing with agriculture, medical science, healthcare, or maybe with finance and how AI can use it. It's the only and one of the most unique sessions where we found that this is targeting AI for the oceans. So I really want to thank the organizers and Ministry of Electronics and IT, MIT, and the organizers here in Bharat Mandapam for giving us this opportunity to share our thoughts, our vision, through the panelists and through the moderators and others to take this forward. I'll not take much time, but as we say in Bollywood style, ye to ek trailer tha, picture abhi baki hai. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. May I now please request our, I just need 1 minute from you. May I please request my partner Rakesh here to please offer the token of appreciation to all the panelists, our chief guest, Dr. Mohapatra and Her Excellency Stena ma'am. Yes, yes, you do. I also request Rakesh to please offer the token of appreciation to all our esteemed panelists.
Ja, men det var jo, du hadde jo veldig gode greier på det, så det var kjempemessig. Ja, ok.
With this, I announce the session as coming to an end. I thank one and all the participants, all the audiences, the guests, and the organizing committee at METI AI Summit. Thank you so much. For those who would have more questions, can see our panel and guest outside the room after this session. Thank you.
Ja,